This cube is underrated, and I believe that some of you may really enjoy this puzzle. So let me share with you some of the cool features this cube has. This cube has an adjustment system, an adjustable auto alignment system, feet magnets, and adjustable torpedoes. If you couldn't tell, I'm talking about the Diansheng MS3X. I actually really like this cube. It has a lot of cool features that are great ideas, but only a few of them actually work well, those being the adjustment system and the feet magnets. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. But what's the point of having cool features if your cube sucks? Oh wow, 9. I have heard that this cube sounds like a GAN X. Now, I don't have a GAN X, so comparing it to some of the cubes in my collection, I feel like this feels like a mix between the GAN XS and the Valk Elite. It has this nice papery, smooth, crisp, boxy, kind of hollow feel, which is really nice. The MS3X doesn't just have a great feel, it's also an amazing performer. This cube corner cuts from literally everywhere, and it's on the faster side. It has pretty strong magnets that help the cube keep its shape as well. Overall, this cube performs on par with cubes like the GAN 13 and the X-Men Tornado V3, and it costs $32 at thecubicle.com. Use code ALEX to get a 5% discount at the Cubicle. You know, it's a discount, so please help me. Use my code, please. The box the cube comes in is actually really cool as well. I think it's my second favorite box, only under the GAN 13 box, because, you know, nothing's beating the GAN 13 box. When you open it, you're greeted with a bunch of stuff. The cube itself, a bunch of replacement pieces in case it breaks, and a nice cube stand. It also comes with extra magnets and a Phillips head screwdriver that you're gonna need to adjust the torpedoes. Out of the box, this cube performs really well, but like all cubes, you will have to set it up to make it the best it can possibly be. Now, that brings me to the adjustment system, which is a little confusing, but don't worry, I'll show you how to use it. When you take off the center cap, you'll see a screw, which you can use to tighten and loosen the cube, a blue spring compression system, and a pink auto alignment system. To adjust your spring compression, turn the blue plastic piece clockwise. There are 2 little notches that you can use to adjust the cube by hand. There are 5 different spring compression settings, with 5 being the loosest and 1 being the tightest. I personally use it on setting 4. There are indicators on the pink piece at the bottom which point to the setting you are using. You can also turn the blue piece counterclockwise to adjust the auto alignment system. When the indicators form a cross, the magnet strength will be weaker and the auto alignment range will be longer. When the indicators form an X, or are in line with the white pieces of plastic in the corners, the magnet strength will be stronger and the auto alignment range will be shorter. But adjusting this pink piece doesn't really matter, and I'll tell you why later. To adjust the torpedoes, take out an edge and you'll see a small colored piece of plastic on the feet of the edge. Grab the Phillips head screwdriver and put it through the hole. You can then pull this piece up and twist it sideways. Be careful though, because I feel like this piece could break easily. Out of the box, the torpedoes will not be up, so I recommend that you turn them all on. Basically, this cube isn't very good without torpedoes. What cube is good without torpedoes? While you're at it, you can go ahead and lube the cube, and I'm using the Angstrom setup, and I actually quite like it. Honestly, I think all of the features in this cube are great ideas, but none of them really work well. The only thing that really works well is the spring compression system. So let's take another look at that magnet spinny thingy in the centers. Theoretically, this idea works pretty well, but in practice, it barely makes a difference. Basically, what's going on here is that there are different magnets that either repel or attract. This will cause the cube to be both pushed and pulled into place when you're doing a turn. Depending on how you have the magnets oriented, the attraction will be stronger or the repel will be stronger. But it doesn't really work because the magnets are just really weak and you can't feel them at all during your solves. So Diansheng, can you put some strong magnets in here please? I'm actually really curious to see what it would be like if it actually worked. Now onto the adjustable torpedoes. Well, they're not really adjustable because you can either have it on or off, and the off setting is really bad. What I recommend you do next time is mess with different sizes and shapes of torpedoes and how they affect the performance of the cube. I like the idea of the whole pull up, twist, and then put back kind of adjustment that they have going on. So what I recommend you try is to add a second torpedo. Basically, what I mean by that is that instead of just having one normal torpedo, you can have another one perpendicular to the first one. Basically, it will form a cross. So when you twist the torpedo like normal, you'll have two different sizes and shapes of torpedoes to choose from. One of them being bigger and the other one being smaller. Then there's the big problem of how would you keep the bigger torpedo in place? This cube has notches on the edge piece that holds the torpedo, and if you have a bigger torpedo and a smaller torpedo, the bigger torpedo will rest on top of these notches and it will never be clicked into place and it will move easily. So what I was thinking was you can put slits inside of that torpedo, have the notches go inside the slits, and I think that should work pretty well. Then there's the big question of, do different sized torpedoes really affect performance that much? And I don't know how to answer that question right now. I'll let you do that, Diane Chang. You know, you're smart. You got that. So what does the Diane Chang MS3X mean to me? Well, it's a really fun cube to use. I love the feel. It performs great. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The only thing I don't really like about it is how strong the magnets are. But that's really just personal preference.
Ooh, 10. That could have been PB! Oh, dang it! Oh, that could have been PB. I'm not even joking. That literally could have been PB. Oh my god.
The MS3X won't be my main because I'm just not very consistent on it. But if I ever do want to switch things up, the MS3X is going to be one of the first cubes I reach for. Would I recommend you get this cube? Yeah, it's up to personal preference. I can't really say. The Tornado V3 Flagship Edition costs basically as much as this cube, and they both perform on basically the same level. So it's really up to you. I would pick the Tornado V3 over this. That's my personal preference. But I get that if you really like older GAN cubes, you'll like the MS3X. But if you prefer smoother, more quiet, a little more stable cubes, Tornado V3 is pretty good. But I really think that the MS3X is underrated, and I think that more people should really get this cube and review it, because I think it's pretty good. You know what's funny? I still don't know if I really like the Tornado V3 or not. And if you're interested in why I think that way, you can watch this video. Spoiler alert, I really like the Tornado V2, and I think that if you want a V3, you have to consider the V2 as well. Alright, thanks for watching. Love ya.